So, let's talk about the players and the future direction of the club. Ultimately, the success of this decision hinges entirely on what happens next. The players' response is going to be immediate and telling. How will they react to the new boss? Will they buy into the new tactics and training methods? Or will we see the same old problems of inconsistency and lack of effort resurface? A new manager often brings a clean slate. Players who are out of favor might get a new lease on life, while established stars might have to prove themselves all over again. This internal competition can be incredibly healthy. It can light a fire under the squad and push everyone to raise their game. We'll be watching the training ground reports and the first few matches very, very closely for signs. Are they playing with more freedom? Is there a clearer tactical identity? Are they fighting for each other and for the badge? These are the questions that will give us the first real clues. But it's not just about the immediate reaction. It's about the long-term vision. This is where the Manchester United board is truly under the microscope. Was sacking Amorim part of a coherent, long-term strategy, or was it another reactive, short-term fix? If the new manager who comes in is someone who aligns with a clear footballing philosophy that the club wants to build for the next 5 to 10 years, then sacking Amorim might, in hindsight, be seen as a necessary, albeit painful, step. For example, if the club has decided they want to play a high-pressing, possession-based style, and they bring in a manager who is a world-renowned expert in that system, then the logic is clear. They're building towards something specific. It would show that there's a plan beyond just winning the next game. It would signal a commitment to a particular identity, something fans have been crying out for. This kind of long-term thinking is what has been missing at Old Trafford for years. Every successful club has a clear identity that runs from the academy all the way to the first team. However, and this is the big fear for many fans, what if there is no plan? What if this was just another panic move? If the next manager is a completely different profile, with a completely different style of football, it will suggest that the board is just lurching from one idea to another. If we see performances drop, if the dressing room becomes even more chaotic, or if the new manager is sacked within 18 months, then this decision will look like an absolute disaster. It would just be another chapter in a decade of poor decision-making. The narrative would be, once again, that Manchester United's board doesn't know what it's doing. They hired a promising manager, didn't give him the right support or enough time, and then pulled the plug at the first sign of trouble. This kind of instability is poison to a football club. It breeds a culture of short-termism and fear, where no one can build for the future. Players become unsettled, recruitment becomes haphazard, and the fans' disillusionment just grows deeper. Think about the ripple effect. A chaotic environment makes it harder to attract top players. Why would a world-class talent choose to come to a club where the manager could be gone in a year? It also affects the development of young players. How can a young talent like Kobbie Mainoo or Alejandro Garnacho truly flourish when the tactical instructions and the head coach change every season or two? They need stability and a consistent philosophy to grow into the world-beaters we hope they can be. This is the tightrope the club is walking right now. The next appointment is arguably one of the most important in the club's recent history. It's not just about hiring a good coach. It is about the board demonstrating that they have a credible plan for returning Manchester United to the top of English and European football. Let's be honest, the judgment on this decision won't be made today or tomorrow. It will be written over the course of the next 2 to 3 seasons. If the new manager comes in, brings stability, implements an exciting brand of football, gets the team competing for major trophies, and most importantly, gets Old Trafford buzzing again, then people will look back and say, you know what? Sacking Ruben Amorim was a tough call, but it was the right one. It was the catalyst for change. In that scenario, the board will be praised for their decisiveness. They'll be seen as having the foresight to know that things weren't working and having the courage to make a change for the better. The short-term pain will have been worth the long-term gain. But on the flip side, if the club continues to drift, if the performances get worse, if the same old issues persist, and we are having this exact same conversation about another manager in 2 years' time, then sacking Amorim will be remembered as another monumental error. It will be held up as the prime example of the board's incompetence and their inability to build a successful project. It will reinforce the belief that the problems at the club run much deeper than just the manager. The pressure is immense. This isn't just about one man losing his job. It's about the entire future direction of one of the biggest football clubs in the world. The next few months are going to be absolutely crucial. We, as fans, can only watch, wait, and hope that this time, finally, the board gets it right. We are all desperate for a bit of stability, a clear identity, and a team that we can be proud of week in, week out. Let's hope this is the start of that new era, and not just another false dawn. So, what do you think? Looking at the bigger picture, the player dynamics and the club's future, was this a necessary evil or another misstep? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'm really keen to hear what the consensus is among you all. It's a massive decision with huge consequences, and only time will tell the true story. Thanks for watching all 3 parts of this deep dive. If you enjoyed this analysis, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more Manchester United content. I'll see you in the next one.